Excited to be joined now on MASN All Access by Triple-A Norfolk pitching coach Justin Ramsey. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Now, you've been having a ton of success down in Norfolk, a lot of winning, and now you got a familiar face back there with you in Grayson Rodriguez. Before we talk about his performance on the field, I want to look back a little bit at your relationship with Grayson Rodriguez. You've kind of moved up through the minor leagues together here a little bit over the last few years. Can you just talk about what your relationship with him has been like?
It's been awesome. I was very fortunate. I think I really didn't understand the magnitude of what it was to work with him early on in my career. Just obviously, first job with the Orioles was in Delmarva, and knowing that obviously he was a top prospect, but not really fully understanding what that meant, given the fact that I was just coming over first year with the Orc, and then to just see him develop and grow. Obviously, it's been a lot of fun to work with him every day. It's been at least part of every year that I've been here, even back in 2020 during the COVID alt-site work. So it's been a lot of fun. I think it's a good working relationship. He's a fantastic kid. He's always ready to work hard. He always wants to get better, and that just makes it a lot easier on our end.
And you mentioned kind of working with the top prospects. What has it been like for you over the last few seasons, working with guys like Grayson Rodriguez, DL Hall, kind of knowing how big of a hand you have in kind of shaping the Orioles' future here?
It's an honor, and they've made me look really good, which is always helpful. It's been a lot of fun. This is a fantastic group of kids that are just working to their dreams of getting to the big leagues and helping this organization, win a World Series, which I think is everybody's goal, and we're trending the right way with that.
And speaking of that dream of getting to the big leagues, you were part of the conversation where Grayson Rodriguez was told that he was getting the promotion up to Baltimore this year. What was that conversation like?
It was very exciting. Obviously, it wasn't exactly how any of us thought it was going to go, especially with Bradish getting hit in the leg and it being kind of a whirlwind from there. But just very cool to finally be able to sit down and let him know that he was on his way, and see the look on his face. Him knowing that he got to do it in his home state, and obviously matching up against DeGrom was pretty cool too. So it was a fun conversation to be part of for sure.
Grayson got 10 starts up in the big leagues so far to start the season. What were your initial takeaways from those starts?
I think you saw, one, how hard it is to be in the big leagues, how competitive those lineups are through and through, how special Grayson is in terms of what those good starts look like, but also what happens when you're young and still learning up there in some of those bad ones. And I think at the end of the day, he'll come back stronger from the wins and the losses.
Now he's back in Triple-A Norfolk getting some work in. To a fan who might be thinking, well, he's already dominated at that level, what else does he have to learn there? What do you think could be some potential benefits of Grayson Rodriguez being back in Triple-A?
Well, I just think, again, when you go up there, you kind of learn some of the things that maybe you took for granted in the minor leagues that you could get away with a little bit more with just overpowering stuff, which Grayson clearly has. And so his ability to refine some of the command of those pitches, moving the fastball around a little more within the zone of the locations we need to get to, or the slider, sharpening it up and getting it more of a put-away option as opposed to just a pitch that we're throwing in it because it moves a lot of had success. I think him, refining those things, regardless of whether he's had success here or not, he can learn from that and take it back up there so he can, start to string together more consistent quality starts up there.
And you mentioned the command of his pitches. We haven't really seen command be an issue for Grayson Rodriguez over the last few seasons, but this year the walk numbers have ticked up a little bit. What do you think were some of the causes of that, and what are you looking at to work on with him in Triple-A to get those walk numbers down?
Well, I think when you just, again, look at the quality of the hitters at the major league level, one, they have a really good feel for the zone. They're not going to necessarily chase as much as even at the highest levels of the league that they will here. And I also think there's just the added pressure of trying to make better pitches because, obviously really good lineups. And so I think just taking that step in terms of getting comfortable and commanding his pitch through the zone and trusting that it's good enough. He doesn't have to be perfect because his stuff is that good. I think that's one of the key takeaways to getting himself back into the zone and commanding it where, getting those pitches where they need to go.
But of course, impressively, Grayson Rodriguez at just 23 years old, we saw some really impressive outings. What do you think is the key to having those be a little more consistent this season once he gets the call back up to the big leagues?
Again, I think it's just, working ahead and putting hitters away. That command, that, keeping the the batters like we know he's capable of. When he starts to do that again, like we've seen him do down here in the past, I think even, you know, at the highest level, he has enough stuff and to when he's doing that, it's going to be tough for any lineup.
Well, no better coach to help Grayson Rodriguez get on the track he wants to be on towards the big leagues. Triple-A Norfolk pitching coach Justin Ramsey, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.